Greetings. In this video of project appraisal and finance, we will start with our unit number 2, that is leasing, hire purchase and project finance. The major stress is given on the leasing part in the whole unit or whole module, whereas hire purchase as well as the project finance has the theoretical background in the unit. As compared to the leasing has both theoretical as well as numerical background. The various questions are there based upon the lease or buy decisions. In this video, we will discuss about the definition of leasing, its features, parties involved in leasing, and advantages and disadvantages of the leasing. We will start with the definition of leasing. A leasing is an contractual agreement between party who is owning an asset or equipment which it provides to the another party for a certain agreed period of time at some consideration in form of periodical payment known as lease rentals. So we can define lease as a contract whereby the owner of the asset known as lessor, remember one thing, owner of asset is equals to lessor, where known as lessor grants its asset for its use to another party known as leasee, the exclusive rights to use the asset usually for an agreed period of time in return of certain payment which is known as lease rental. So in lease transaction, an asset is used by a lessee which is provided by a lessor in against certain payment periodical charges known as lease rentals. Now we will move to the features of the leasing. Remember one thing, owner of asset known as lessor, the person who uses the asset or who has right to use the asset is known as leasing, whereas what is received to the lessor as against giving his asset to the leasing periodical payment known as lease rentals. Now features of the leasing. The very first feature of the leasing is that all the party in the leasing contract should be competent to come into the contract. They must have all the eligibility criteria which are mentioned in the Indian Contract Act to enter into a contract. Second thing, lease agreement does not transfer at any point of time the ownership of the asset to the lessee. In lease agreement only lessor grants the exclusive right to use the asset by lessee for a specified purpose for a specific time period. None of the ownership right is given to the lessee in by lease agreement. Third things, the goods or equipments are delivered to the lessee for a specific purpose and for a specific time. The purpose is predefined as well as the time is already known for which a contract is made, for the duration for which the agreement would be enforced, and the lessee would be entitled to use the asset and the lessor would be entitled to receive the return in form of lease rentals. Then the lease rentals are payable generally in equated with the monthly installment at the beginning of every month or as per the agreed terms in the contract. It can be either monthly, quarterly, half yearly or yearly, but usually it is paid on the beginning of the month. That is what we have to remember at the point of time when we are going to solve the problems of lease versus buy decisions. Last one is the equipment leasing covers the wide in leasing there is wide coverage of the equipment as well as the machinery. It can be of industrial plant and machinery, computer, other office equipment to vehicles. Various varieties of vehicles are included in the leasing criteria. Then who are the parties which are involved in the leasing? Usually there are only two parties which are involved in leasing. The first one, as mentioned earlier, is lessor, and second one is the lessee. Then who is the lessor? The lessor is the owner or the title holder of the asset or property, and it is also known as lender, and it is usually a secured party in case of capital lease or operating lease. Second party is the lessee. Then who is the lessee? Lessee is the user or the renter of the leased asset or property. The lessee is also debtor to the lessor as they have to pay the what we can say lease rentals to the lessor. Usually in case of what we can say real estate lease, the leasee is also can also be known as tenant. Now we will move to the advantages. Advantages, we can classify advantages into two types. Advantages can be understood by way of two lessor, one who owns the asset, two leasee who has taken the asset on rent. So from both point of view we will discuss the advantages of leasing. Starting with from lessor point of view, we will start with the first advantage, that is the benefit of the tax. As the lessor of the asset is the owner of the asset, and usually these assets are subject to the depreciation, they would receive the tax benefit by way of having the depreciation as asset is in the use. That is why they can claim depreciation, and they could have tax advantages in their balance sheet or in their financials. That is the first advantage of leasing to the lessor. Second one is high profitability. As the lease rentals are usually charged high as compared to the interest rate, even if the lessor goes for borrowing or financing the asset, they would receive the high profitability. For say interest rate would be somewhere 10-12% for financing the asset, whereas lessor can easily put it on rent or put it on lease at higher rate, giving high profitability to the lessor. Third thing is the security. Usually lessor has been security as lease is been given to the lessor on the basis of the Contract Act, and that is why there is a sense of security, as if leasee fails to pay the installment, definitely as per the terms of the contract, lessor would have the right to take back its assets, so that they would be punished. And at the same time, in the case of termination of the contract, the lessor can charge the fine or penalty for the termination. Last advantage to the lessor is the recovery of the investment. In case of financial lease, definitely a lessor can directly amortize the cost of the asset by financially leasing the asset, as it is for the longer duration, covering the cost of the asset. In case of operating lease, though we can go that it would not cover the whole cost of the asset, but still by operating lease also a lessor can take the advantage of recovery of the investment by leasing the asset in multiple times to the different parties during the life of the asset. Coming to the leasing, the advantages to the leasing, the very first advantage is again the tax benefit. As lease rentals are subject to the deduction of the tax payment, definitely a leasee can definitely charge it as an expenditure in its profit and loss account, making it giving the organization tax benefit. Second advantage is the as asset is been leased by leasee, so there is no criteria of paying the initial investment, or there is no initial investment to be made by the leasee, which makes it easy to maintain the cash flows by the leasee, and it usually helps the leasee as no huge chunk of cash outflow is there in form of initial investment or down payment. Then less delay, as we can take this is an example. If suppose X company is requiring to lease the asset, it can definitely find out some lessor and it can go for leasing the asset. By that there is very less delay, they can immediately execute the contract and go for leasing the asset. In this there is less what we can say, there is less delay or there is no waste of time. From the criteria of leasing, they can definitely go for their production activity or whatever activity they are planning by leasing that asset. While if they go for ownership, there would have disadvantage. They would have to find out the asset, then they would have to find out the vendor, then maintaining the cash flows, approving the cash flow. These were the certain things which they have to get into the process. Next thing is the leasing is, from the point of view of leasing, is a faster and simpler process, as the leasee can definitely go into the contract, as it is been simply made by using Indian Contract Act. So they can go into the contract and definitely prepare that thing. So it is very simple as compared to the, if we are going to go own the asset, we would have to go for term loan, and the process of term loan is quite difficult to follow, as well as it would take time and definitely defer the activities of the organization. Then documentation process is also simpler. As we go for leasing, we simply have to process the lease agreement between lessor and lessee according to the terms agreed between both the parties. But when we go for owning the asset, we have to go for term loan, and for that purpose we need to prepare a trail of documents, which is a time consuming process. Then less maintenance cost in case the asset is leased by leasing, as in the case of specific leasing criteria, the assets are usually to be maintained by the lessor, even though in the operating lease also the assets are maintained by the lessor. So there is less or no maintenance cost to be borne by leasing. In specified leased or in specified asset which are leased by the organization, even though the lessor is responsible for maintaining that asset. Then next is the no risk of disuse of the property, as the property is used for a specific period. So the use of the disuse of property or the obsolescence risk of the property is been reduced, as soon as the asset would be not of use for the purpose of the company, they can definitely end the lease. They can definitely prepare the agreement so that it would not have the extra burden of paying the lease rental to the lessor. Now moving on to the disadvantages. Again, disadvantages can be understood by the two criteria from the point of view of lessor and from the point of view of lessee. So we can understand from both the criteria. From the point of view of lessor, we will start with the disadvantages. The very first disadvantages is the chances of damage of the asset is very high in case of leasing, as the lessee is not that much careful with the asset, as they don't have ownership right. They would not treat the asset like in case of specific specialized instrument or equipment, they would not go for the proper use of that asset, leaving the lessor to the damage of the asset or loss of the asset to the lessor. Next is the unprofitable in case of inflation. In case of inflation, specifically when there is an inflation, there is continuous rise in the cost of the asset, and the lease rentals are the agreement which are prepared usually for medium term, for say 1 to 5 years. So in case of inflation, the lessor cannot have the benefit of inflation, as the agreement already has predetermined lease rental mentioned in it, which cannot be increased or which can be increased according to the subject criteria mentioned in the lease agreement. But usually the lessor is tied with the amount which is mentioned in the lease agreement. Next is the competition, which is now growing in the leasing market also. The many people are entering in the market, that is why the competition is getting there, and which has again impacted the earnings of the lessor. That is another disadvantage. Then for point of view of lessor, there is high risk of obsolescence. Obsolescence risk means the risk that asset would not be in the use, and for that period the lessor would have to borne the cost of the asset as well as the depreciation of the asset, and there is no income from that asset. That is we can compute it as a loss for the lessor. So there is high obsolescence risk. If their leasing is not in the financial leasing, then the lessor would be the loss bearer in the case of operating lease, as in operating lease they have to find out the leasee for multiple point of time so that they could lease their asset easily. Last one is the long-term investment is always needed for the purpose of leasing the asset, as the asset is being purchased. The usually the nature of the asset is fixed and it is utilized for the longer duration. It has a long life and which requires a huge cash outflow. So there is a long-term investment from the point of view of lessor, which binds it to have the slow, what we can say, earnings to the lessor. Then disadvantages from the point of view of leasing. The very first disadvantage is the ownership rights. As we don't have any kind of ownership rights, we are just the able to use the asset for specific purpose. We cannot use the asset for other purpose as not specified in the agreement. So if we do have ownership, we can utilize the asset as per our convenience, but here we don't have that thing. That is the first disadvantage. Second one is the it can at certain point of times it can be a costly affair, as the lease rentals are quite high for the specialized equipments or in general also. So even though we can take the example in case of financial lease, the lease can be costly, as in financial lease the cost of asset is already covered in the lease period, so it can serve as a costly means to the leasing. Third one is the loss of ownership incentives. As we don't have ownership incentives, we cannot take advantage of that. For example, depreciation advantage. As a part of leasing, we cannot use depreciation advantage, as the ownership is with the lessor, not with the leasing. So we could not have that tax benefit which we could enjoy if we were the owner of the asset. Next, we are not permissible according to the contract for upgrading the asset or renovating the asset, which is a major loss to the leasing. Suppose that if we have to renovate the asset, we are not able to do so, as the leasing rights, leasing contract does not provide the rights of renovation or upgradation to the leasing. Next thing is the loss of the salvage value of the asset. As we all know, the salvage value means the value which we can fetch after the life of the asset by selling it to the by selling it in the second-hand market, or by selling it to the by selling it after its life. That is what is salvage value. That salvage value would not be enjoyed by us, definitely it would be enjoyed by lessor, as we are not, as a lessee, we are not the owner of the asset. We do not enjoy the ownership rights, so we cannot have the salvage value of the asset. Last one is the from point of view of leasing. If suppose that we don't have the asset in our use, so there would be a penalty charge on the termination of the contract of the lease if we do so, as asset would not is not in use. So there would be the issue of termination of the contract, and if we go for termination of the contract, we have to pay the penalty, and that penalty is a somewhat fine for terminating the contract. These were the advantages and disadvantages of the leasing from the point of view of lessor as well as leasing. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the rationals for or reasons for going for leasing and the types of leasing. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.